Hey guys, before the podcast starts, I just want to say if you're watching on YouTube, then there will be a link in the description to the Spotify version of the podcast. It might not be up straight away, but it will be up eventually. And if you're watching on Spotify or listening on Spotify, then you'll need to go on YouTube to be able to interact with the channel in any way. Because for the first time ever, we're going to have a poll in the description to let you vote for who won each round and who won overall. And if you're listening on Spotify, you'll obviously not be able to interact. I'd also like to apologise for how long it took for this episode to release because we just had no motivation to finish the episode because the topic is done to death. Episode 4 will be on the way soon. It should probably be Shadow the Hedgehog vs Makoto from Persona 5, but we don't know, it's still subject to change. We also now have a Ko-fi page for the channel in order to get funds to keep it on Spotify, so if you want to help for whatever reason, or you're able to, then it is greatly appreciated. Otherwise, just supporting the channel by liking and commenting and being subscribed is good enough. We also now have a Twitter for the podcast. If you'd like to check that out, it is at Franchise Fights, and on YouTube and Twitter we use hashtag Franchise Fights Podcast. And like last time, if you hear the intro sound repeated, it is the segue between different sections. If you're on Spotify, that's just an audio cue. If you're on YouTube, you can obviously see the visual cue. Without further ado, let's get into the episode.
Okay, welcome to Franchise Fight, the podcast where we make your favourite characters fight. I'm your host Heggie, and as always I'm joined by my co-host John.
I'm joined by you. It's my channel.
Well, it's your channel, but like I'm the one speaking, so shut up, we're speedrunning it.
Heggie tried to speedrun the intro and started on like the first 5 words.
Fuck up, we've got 4 sections. We've got section 1, better series, where we compare the 2 series. Section 2, better character, we compare the 2 characters.
Slow down
section
a bit.
3, fuck. Okay, section 3 we've got a death battle.
Start for the start.
Okay.
Right, so we're doing Mordecai and Rigby versus Finn and Jake. I get Mordecai and Rigby because Adventure Time isn't as good as regular show. That's one of the points I'm debating for. Heggie gets Adventure Time. I don't know why.
Yep.
But
no, because
I don't care why you get Adventure Time. We're gonna
someone has to have Adventure Time.
Why, obviously, that's how debate works. So we're gonna debate which is the better series between regular show and Adventure Time, which has the better characters between Mordecai and Rigby and Finn and Jake, which of the two pairs of characters would win in a fight, and which of the 2 pairs of characters would do better in the other's universe.
Yep, that's
basically.
That's it. I try to do it at like the speed of sound. I'm just like retarded. I can't say retarded.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 'cause I'm retarded. I can say it, but I wasn't sure if YouTube doesn't like the retard word.
No, you're actually handicapped, so it's fine.
Okay. Because we know what happened last week.
Yeah.
Okay, so so if you've heard the sections, you've heard the characters, we can. Oh wait, links. I need to plug the links. So we've got I've got a YouTube channel now. It's in the
finally made a channel.
There'll probably be like there might be an upload by when this is out, or like by next podcast. I don't know.
Probably.
When I can be arsed recording.
Well, we're recording this on 25th of April, and it will not be out until 2 weeks after.
Yeah, so it just depends when this comes out. Like depends on how if I can be arsed recording a video and like getting John to edit for me because I'm retarded. So then we've got, as always, the drawings you see on screen are done by the resident artist, Paradise 351 Duncan, link in the description. I'm just going to quickly interrupt to point out I actually did the art for this episode because Duncan's been completely overworked. And yes, we did start recording on April 25th, and it is now late June by the time you're hearing this, which is bad. L Overtails in the description, that's our server. We might change the name of the server, we're having a competition to change the name on it, so just join the server, you'll get early access. You get to speak to cool characters like Delicate Danny and Tadashi. Like, yeah, Delicate Danny, he's like number 2 Canadian. Who's number 1? And Tadashi, Andy. Oh yeah. And then they've got like, would we say Tadashi's like the number 1 Asian? Well, what Asian can you think of that's better than Tadashi in any way? I quite like the boy that made My Hero. Like, when's Tadashi made? Can you remember his name? Made an anime. I can't be arsed checking my manga and I can't remember his name. Who else do we have in the server that's worth mentioning whatsoever? Oh, you'll see Leo. Leo talks a load of shite. So do you, so. Yeah, but I'm like likeable.
Somewhat.
To an extent, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, who else is? There's the resident women, Morgan and Katie.
Toby
Like,
as well. Toby's not watching
oh
this,
yeah,
but Toby's in the server.
I don't.
So yeah,
Yeah,
just join the server. You'll
join
get
the server,
early
get early
access. You get to
access.
speak to the lads.
Yeah, you get to like ask questions about Canada,
Yeah.
like and all the lore, because like Delicate Dan is an expert. You might. He's got a YouTube channel. You'll probably see comment, maybe.
Oh yeah, Daniel will probably be on this podcast some point soon.
He'll be on the podcast. He's like, he's also more of a Terrence than I thought, man, as discussed last week.
We're meant to have Duncan on this week, but it was working, so it's just us.
Yeah, so it's just us. Duncan was like meant to be a middle ground. But
then we realised we had absolutely no use for him and told him to fuck off.
Yeah, it's definitely not like he was working and then spending time with his girlfriend.
Exactly. So, let's actually start then, if you want.
Oh wait, I forgot to mention, the last episodes will be in the description on YouTube and Spotify. If we get drunk right in the back, go on Spotify.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them on Spotify without paying, because transactions are currently paused from my bank account for trying to buy Dogecoin, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay to get them on Spotify.
You have to pay to get them on Spotify?
Yeah, you can only get one episode on Spotify for free.
What the fuck?
Exactly. I'll try to, but I don't know if I'll be able to.
How much is that?
It's like £12 a month to be able to upload them.
But that's a bit. Okay.
I'm trying to convince them that it's an educational podcast to see if they'll let us get a discount.
Yeah, everyone subscribe to DaGamingGamer, get him to 1,000 subs so we can get monetized.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. We should try and get sponsors for this podcast, but who the fuck's going to want to sponsor Franchise Fight podcast?
I'll take any sponsorship.
Yeah. Like we discussed in the first episode, like, if we get sponsored by Crunchyroll, then we're number one subs fan, but if we get sponsored by Funimation, then we're number one dubs fan.
Yeah, and if we're like sponsored by the BBC, we're like number one Boris fans.
Yeah, and like TV license payer fans.
Oh, I love. Yeah,
we support the increase.
Love the TV license.
We support the decision to increase the TV license from £157.50 a year to £159 a year.
Oh fuck!
What a fantastic! Right, let's get started.
Like, top 10 worst things. Margaret Thatcher, TV license.
What else?
KFC
employees. Right, let's get started. Section 1.
So we've got section. If you're eating noises, I'm currently eating a KFC.
Yep. I'm currently waiting on a Chinese, so this video might take a few hours to go through completely. But yes, section 1 is better series. Yes?
Yep, that's better series.
Just double checking. Right, so, have you got your notes out, or are you just too busy eating your KFC?
I'll get my notes done now. It's just I was
For
paying like in the middle.
sake.
It's not my fault that I got
Always too
KFC
busy
now.
with the food.
Well, KFC's pog other than certain workers.
Oh yeah, eating KFC comes second to Franchise Fight podcast though.
I know.
Come on. Better not catch you slacking like this again. Right.
Do you want to go first? 'Cause I'm hungry.
Good though. Aye. Am I just getting you to take me eat by speaking?
Yeah.
Like, so I usually argue about the intro song being good or the introduction song being iconic. But there's not an intro song for a regular show.
No, there is an intro song for a regular show.
That's the intro. It's not a song. It's just one synth that like really low pitch going boom.
Well, you've just mentioned the intro, which
but it stands out. Like I put in my notes, my bullet point was no intro tune needed. I think I'm right.
You do have a good point, but the intro song is quite like an Adventure Time. You could say it's quite iconic because like.
Because everybody knows the words to it.
Adventure time, come on, grab your friends, go to very different lands. Jake the dog.
And even the outro song for Nobody Wants to Hear You Sing Adventure Time. Everybody knows the outro song as well, the one with the "Come along with me," that one.
It's like also since it's kind of adventure, especially the early seasons, since the intro's kind of like quite light-hearted, that fits the tone of the early season. So it's more when there wasn't all like the dark and stupid lore. It was more about, oh, there's Finn. He's a boy with stretchy dog. They're going to go fight the funny Ice King who kidnaps women.
And save like the green pig thing that's like an elephant pig, and the kingdom of candy people. Is Tree Trunks a pig or an elephant?
She's an elephant, but she's not green. She's yellow.
You're forgetting that I'm red green colourblind.
Oh fuck yeah!
But I don't even know if that's how that would work actually. I just always thought she was green.
Nah, she's not the pig. She's married to the pig.
I know that, but she's like pig shaped. Which is why I wasn't sure.
Small element.
Oh, element.
But
I'll give you that. They both have iconic intros, in all honesty, because like regular show, it doesn't have an actual song, but it stands out.
It's
like,
icon. Yeah. It's
you know
like,
the words to it.
Here. Dude, you just pissed me off.
That's exactly. That was my next point. Iconic jokes such as "dude" is what I wrote in my notes.
But your baby ducks, send them to the moon. A soda machine doesn't work. Send it to your moon. Your mother, send it to the moon.
Like, everybody who watched Adventure Time, regular show will know that the jokes are that bad that they're funny.
It's regular show.
It's as if they're intentionally bad, but they're probably not.
Regular show this may sound very retarded, but regular show is kind of like Rick and Morty for a younger demographic.
Yeah, you're right, because it's like they make references to adult stuff, but like they can't directly say it. Like how Benson gets drunk off of eating hot wings and stuff.
Yeah,
like the way that he acts, you can tell that the hot wings are like a substitute for alcohol.
Yeah, and like when they have the party the old Coke is like meant to be beer, but they can't obviously say it. But it's the fact that it's like it goes from a simple plot to going like way out of proportion. Like
it's the same with Adventure Time, but regular show more than that, because like the show went from being self-contained, stupid, simple plots that were escalated to being the entire park uprooted from the ground and sent to the moon, and one of the main cast who is completely innocent being a god that is like tier 1C.
Yeah, it's like I feel like Adventure Time had more of a gradual increase as like one of the things I've written down is how as like Finn grows up, the tone kind of changes of the show, how it goes from light-hearted to like, oh yeah, so do you know it's this big fantasy world? It's because of a nuke. It's a post-apocalyptic
world because there was a nuclear war which resulted in the Ice King wearing the crown in order to protect young princess, what's she princess, whatever she is, queen, Marceline. She's a queen, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a vampire queen.
In order to protect the young Queen Marceline, which slowly drove him insane. But you would, if you watched the first episode where he just like abducts like princesses, you would never think that.
Yeah, it's like, really, the Adventure Time lore, it takes an early show that's kinda out there and makes it just go even more stupid.
Yeah.
Like, Adventure Time, I remember my dad Andy referring to it as the show of the talking Game Boy, when it's just not, it's a lot deeper than the show of the talking Game Boy.
Yeah. But she's actually a talking portable GameCube. Not a Game Boy.
Yeah, but it looks like a Game Boy though.
I know, I was joking. He's like thicker though. He's like thicker than a Game Boy would be. But yeah, I get what you mean.
It's like
the characters stand out as well. Like it's diverse, and there's quite a big cast of diverse characters. Like the Ice King, Finn,
like, every
Jake.
character looks or most characters look really different. Like
unless they're intended to, like Fiona and Cake and stuff.
Yeah, Fiona and Cake or like the other humans having animal hats. It's not like meant to be full. It's not like it's accidental. It's more like, oh yeah, it's to identify. Oh, Finn's got one of those hats. they're the humans.
Mhm.
And then like it's like, but they all have unique design. Like comparing Finn to Lumpy Space Princess to Princess Bubblegum to Ice King,
Yeah.
they're all different, and it's like it kind of helps the characters stand out more.
Mhm. Yeah, you mean because like they all look different, but like the groups of them look similar. If you know what I mean, because they're meant to. Like Candy Kingdom, they're all going to look fairly similar, despite being as diverse as they are. But they're going to
Yeah,
look.
and like
All of them are still going to look completely different to the Fire Kingdom or the Ice Kingdom or stuff like that.
is there any more people in the Ice Kingdom, or is it just Ice King and Gunther?
I think there's more. There's more than one penguin.
Yeah, but oh yeah, they're just. I think they're all called Gunther, but like the real Gunther's a fucking eldritch demon thing. Another thing that makes Adventure Time, I like it how stupid it goes. Like with the lore, it goes from, oh, there's Ice King, he has funny penguins too. One of them's a fucking eldritch demon that's like that's probably like a large planet or multiverse or something stupid. I don't know. Look it up.
Apparently, I think it's universal. Apparently, in the Ice Kingdom, there is Ice King, Gunter, Snow Golems, Ice Clops, Polar Bears, and Roger. I wonder who Roger is. Or Roger's a snowman.
I was just thinking of the alien from American Dad.
He's
He
thinking
seems
this
like he'd be.
some boy in like an office suit called Roger.
See, Roger from American Dad seems like he'd be pals with Ice King.
Probably.
They both like to kidnap women and like are probably gay. No, Roger is gay.
Oh right, we're not getting started on gays because you know what happens when you talk about gay people, you accidentally slurs.
I didn't. I didn't think it was fun.
Move on.
I want to apologise to the LGBT community when I am accidentally homophobic. I am
Good.
not. I am retarded.
Fair enough. Right, what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, we're talking about the cast and regular show's cast.
Oh yeah.
They all stand out completely because I'm pretty sure the only human in the park is Muscle Man. That you wouldn't think he was a human. I thought he was a zombie when I first watched him when I was younger.
Oh yeah. I always forget he's just human, but he's green.
Yeah, his wife or whatever it is also a human that's green and like shaped similarly to him and his family, but that's
Wait,
about it.
what's Caps? I always thought he was just like a very. Is he not just a hairy human, or is he?
No, he's not. I can't exactly remember what he is.
I remember
But
he's immortal.
oh yeah, he's a yeti.
He's a yeah. I know it's like. But I feel like.
Formerly known as Wox. I forgot that he used to be called Wox. And then
Forgot that.
Pops is, what was Pops again? Lolly something.
I can't remember.
Lolicon or something, I don't know. Mordecai's the Blue Jay, Rigby's a raccoon. I used to think Rigby's were an animal.
Wait, Pops is human.
No, he's
To
not.
an extent. He
No,
looks human.
he's a
with
different.
big
He looks
head.
human, yeah. Benton's a
He's not
fucking.
human.
Benton's a gumball machine.
But
On
I
high
feel
five.
like.
What is high five the ghost of? Like a person or like a animal
I
that
think
got
it was
ran
a
over?
I feel like it was a person.
Probably. But like the point I'm making is the cast stands out, even though they're that small. Everything's completely different unless they're meant to be. Like you
Yeah,
wouldn't get Muscle Man confused with Benson. You might get Muscle
yeah,
Man
that.
confused with like after the time skip at the end. You might get them confused with their children because like they're meant to look the same with other children. But that's the only time you'd ever mistake something for another person.
Yeah, but I feel like with Adventure Time, like the character design being very different stands out more than in regular show, because in regular show it's kind of like, because the characters are more just like pers. I'm trying, I'm trying to look at how to word this. In a,
Take a minute if you need to. Just work
yep,
out what you're trying to
I'm
say.
trying to work it. What I'm trying to say is pretty much that in Adventure Time, the diversity in character design stands out a lot more than regular show, because regular show they're all kinda still similar shapes and like feel more human, whereas in like Adventure Time, like Lumpy Space Princess does not feel as human, like even like Benson or something, who's a gumball machine, but it doesn't feel. It feels like just a person as a gumball machine, if that makes any sense.
Get what you mean, yeah.
I don't know how to word it, but
More
I'll try to
humanised
get my point out.
characters, yeah.
Yeah, which is a good thing, but not an. I feel like the characters, if they are humans, the show wouldn't feel the same, but it would still work.
I get what you mean. Yeah, like it stands out because there's such a diverse, strange cast though. Like if Mordecai and Rigby were like a small person and like a large person, like
And a lanky
if they
person.
had like a Wario and Waluigi dynamic because they were humans,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be as interesting.
Yeah, it's not as, it wouldn't be as interesting, but I would still, all the jokes and that would hit the same, if that makes any sense. Whereas
But
Adventure Time,
the designs make them what they are, really.
yeah, in Adventure Time it's like, oh, you're not gonna, if see if Lumpy Space Princess was a human,
Hmm.
I would just not, I would change it completely. So
Yeah,
I feel
because
like,
it's fantasy driven. Like regular shows more grounded in reality, even though there's like
even though
humanoid
it's
gumball
stupid,
machines, yetis, ghosts,
yeah,
bludges, raccoons. Them cut about.
yeah, it's not meant to, it's still not, it's more, but it's more grounded because all the characters seem like they're human just without a design.
Yeah,
Where unlike other characters where it's
I get what you
just
mean. Yeah, I was gonna make a point about how regular shows got like a non-toxic fan base compared to other shows, but Adventure Time doesn't really have that bad a fan base either, does it?
I don't know what the fan bases are like because I watched these growing up. It's never been like, oh, I
You've
want to see what
you've
the
you've,
fan base is like. It's
you've never had like discussions about the fan base of people because you watched it as like when you were growing up instead of just now.
yeah, it's not like something like Undertale where the fan base is like, because I was
Shy.
older and I heard about it, I'm like, oh fuck's sake, or it's like. But I feel like that because I don't know what the fan base is like. Cause I feel like the fan base is just young children who watched it growing up, like me and you, and
Hmm.
that, and just and genuinely enjoyed the shows.
Yeah,
Other than
but like I said,
toxic,
yeah, I know what you mean. I said
yeah,
there's less of a toxic fan base to the regular show, but I don't think Adventure Time has that bad of a fan base either. Because everybody who watches regular show is either a child or a stoner. And everybody who watches Adventure Time is either a child or a weirdo or somebody with age regression, probably. So,
now I feel like most people would just are a child or watched it growing up and want to watch it again.
that's a good point, actually.
Where I agree, I think stoners would probably apply to any cartoon, like Jack,
Yeah, but
Jack, and Ben 10 and
especially regular show though, because Rigby's like your gentle stoner. Like, he sleeps on a trampoline, but
for Cloud sleeps on a trampoline.
yeah. Well,
No, but the fan bases just seem like people. I don't feel like there's gonna be a toxic bit of it, or if there is, it's gonna be like a very, very small minority. Because most people just enjoyed the cartoon growing up. Like I
yeah.
don't think Scooby Doo or Tom and Jerry or any other any other of these cartoons have a bad fan base.
Hmm.
I think. I might be wrong. I think does Steven Universe have a bad one? It seems
Yes.
like it would. Oh fuck.
Members of Steven Universe crew were harassed that much that they left social media.
Fuck's sake.
Exactly.
What did they do in Steven Universe to deserve that?
I don't know. It's probably like the way they done certain characters. I don't know.
I was gonna
What?
say, because I don't think they'd have a problem with like the gay elements, because
No, but
wasn't most
it would be like no, because obviously a lot of people, from my experience, a lot of people on Twitter are gay and are like very supportive of stuff like that. But it would probably be
hmm
it would be stuff like them not making characters a couple that they wanted to be a couple, stuff like that.
Oh, that's retarded.
Exactly. Precisely. I wrote a few
Don't
point.
get
I wrote. Sorry, I'll let you speak.
Don't be toxic. Don't have a toxic fan base for a cartoon aimed at kids. Or just don't be toxic in general, but
Yeah.
worse when it's a kids cartoon, I'd say.
Yeah, like it's yeah, I may expect it to be like annoyed at the results of what happened in shows like My Hero because they're for like older audiences than Steven Universe or Ben 10. But
Yeah.
adult audiences for those two shows having attitudes like that isn't what you want.
Mhm.
I wrote a few points against regular show. I wrote that it doesn't reach the audience that it should because like like you said,
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff that happens in it, it's like Rick and Morty, but like toned down because it's on Cartoon Network.
It's Rick and Morty, but made for a younger demographic. They're very similar if you think about it.
Mm.
Like if Adventure Time was like a show like Rick and Morty, not Adventure Time, a regular show
Mhm.
was a show like Rick and Morty, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be like, oh yeah, that's good. I enjoy it.
Because like the original draft of some episodes have like swearing and more adult jokes in them.
Dude, you just pissed me off.
Exactly. Like there's no way they would do
And
that on
there's
Cartoon Network, but they did that on Adult Swim. Like how Rick and Morty's on Adult Swim.
yeah, and there's also a bunch of lines like Pop's infamous one, the episode with Tyler the
No.
Creator.
Stop. There's less plot to a regular show until the final season. Really, like, there's not much of an ongoing plot,
Yeah.
except the occasional. Oh yeah, this is your ex-girlfriend Mordecai. Oh yeah,
Oh,
we've killed a lot of people over the course of the series. We feel bad.
oh yeah, this is. Oh yeah, this is Death Condo. It's come back for like the third time. Oh, this
And
is part
the
18.
bunch of
It's
baby
like,
ducks that have came back for the fifth time.
yeah, it's all like they're never.
I don't know if
There's
regular show
all
doesn't really repeat. Sorry, Adventure Time doesn't really repeat plot elements, does it?
like
Like the guys in
up
suits that
until
like from the past that washed up in the iceberg. Did they ever come back?
I don't think so. But it's a lot. Adventure Time. There's a lot of lore there. It's just you need to. They started getting more into it as it was going on. I feel like, but they definitely were putting lore elements like the Lich and Billy and all that. They would put lore into, whereas and it still has.
Regular show started without much of a there was no clue that it was apocalyptic, sorry, until the iceberg washed up with the businessmen in them.
Yeah, and then like they'd show like clips of Farm Worlds where it would have like Fat Marceline and then show like Ice King freezing a nuke.
He stopped the bomb going off, didn't they? But then Finn
Yeah,
didn't end up being like the hero that he was and everything.
it's like a
I
bunch
say.
of
Sorry, I'll let you speak.
it's a bunch of lore, and it's like it has what I can refer to as the Gravity Falls effect, where it feels episodic, but it's not episodic.
But it's a linear the right term, like a plot that continues. I don't know if that's the right
Yeah,
term for it, but like
I think
the
that's
plot
the term, but
continues, yeah.
yeah, but I feel like it's got the Gravity Falls. The Gravity Falls does it really well, where it's like every episode you could watch an episode on its own, but it still builds to the overall plot.
Yeah.
Like you could go.
Sorry, I keep trying to speak and you keep speaking. Sorry.
It's fine. You could go onto an episode, like any episode on Cartoon Network of Adventure Time, and watch it and understand what's going on, unless it was like a part 3 or 4 or something.
Yeah, you could watch any episode and understand what the show's about. It's the same with stuff like Rick and Morty, except the very specific episode that I started on was the one where all the characters had false memories and stuff, and they couldn't tell what
Oh, that's
characters
a
were
good
what
one.
characters. But the fact I watched that was my first episode that I watched. I watched it with you and Duncan, mind him, said years, like 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh yeah, that was. I remember. Let me watch it at the park at 1 in the morning.
Yeah,
That was
but the
balls.
fact like that's a bad episode to start on because it's like the characters
Too
don't know
many
what's real,
characters.
and I didn't know what was real because there was no clue as to what it was. But with stuff like most of Rick and Morty's fine, apart from that episode, it's the shows like Gravity Falls. You're right, you can just watch. It's got an overarching plot, but you can watch any episode and it'll make sense on its own.
Yeah, Rick and Morty has less of an overarching plot, but there's lots of stuff there, and I kind of wish they went into a bit more like Evil Morty and all that, because he's not been mentioned
In a while.
much recently. Yeah, I want
No.
to see what they're doing with him.
I was going to say we should wrap that there because there's not much else to talk about. We should probably leave it because I think both series are probably as good as each other, in all honesty.
Yeah, I'd be fine with either. I like them both.
Let us
They're
know in the
both like
comments what series you think's better if you have an opinion. And we're back about 2 months later from the last section.
Yeah, it's been It's been a wee bit, maybe like a few hours.
A few hours. I think the last time we started trying to do this was the end of March. Sorry, May. Fucking
And it's
March.
June.
And it's now mid to late June.
But like exams, is that a good enough excuse?
That's a good enough excuse. Anyway, we're back to finish the video. Better characters. Well, who's the better characters out of Mordecai and Rigby, my team, versus Finn and Jake, Heggie's team, the worst team.
I'm Jay, I like boys.
Get that off. Heggie's wave coming in.
No. Oh.
Not you. Right, let's stay on topic.
Fuck's sake, I forgot how this works.
So, would you like to explain why you think and are wrong in thinking that Finn and Jake are better characters?
I'm going to explain why they are better characters correctly.
In your opinion, which is factually incorrect.
But your opinion is like the incorrect one, because like,
I think that's
I don't
possible.
know.
Don't think that's
You are not the
option,
most unbiased person on unbiased person on YouTube fucking planet.
Well, TGF confirmed that he never was.
I don't think I'm allowed to speak about TGF.
No. Well, anyway, just fucking talk.
Okay.
Just fucking talk about what you're meant to. Come on.
But yeah, I get distracted.
Don't care.
Easily. Okay, so Finn and Jake actually I think they develop and mature more as characters other than Mordecai and Rigby. Whereas Mordecai and Rigby just kinda are still two cunts in a park who fuck about.
Yeah, but they do have oh fuck, how am I meant to describe it? They have a similar dynamic to Finn and Jake, despite not being siblings like they are. They're just best pals, but they have a similar dynamic to them where they just kind of fuck about and still are entertaining.
I feel like that Finn and Jake are more productive if they're fucking about.
I suppose, and
Some of the time.
in a capitalist sense, Mordecai and Rigby are.
Yeah, what is Adventure Time socialist?
Why would I know?
I don't know.
You know what? Tell me what a socialist is then. Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I just know it's a thing that's anti-capitalism. I don't take holidays.
Shut up, you fool.
Communist adventure. Is that just Farm World? Is Farm World communist?
I don't know. I don't actually watch Adventure Time regularly. Probably.
I'm not.
It's most likely to be. I just realised in Sonic Underground that wee town's communist. See the one that we went to, and they got all the free food, and everybody gets everything for free. That's communism.
Face Sonic.
Shut up. Get back on topic.
I'm just saying Sonic's face all there on topic now.
Aye.
Okay, so as well as Finn and Jake do, I feel mature more as characters. Even though they do fuck a bit, it's they're actually productive. Cause I'm pretty sure Finn's held down a woman more than Mordecai.
Probably, but Rigby's held down a belt.
So is Jake. Jake's in Shag and Rain according to season 1.
Remember how you thought that Korean was a made up language?
Yeah, well, I don't. How was I supposed to know what Korean sounded like?
So you thought Lady Rainicorn was speaking like a Rainicorn language, even though it was fucking Korean.
I was a child. I didn't know Korean was a language.
I knew it was something Asian. I knew it wasn't a made up language. I don't know how fucking stupid you can be.
I'm the same person that didn't think gay people existed until I was 12. Why would you expect me to know Korean's a language? That's not just Rainicorn.
Shut up, you fool. I think that Finn and Jake's Teamwork fighting abilities. Is it the fin suit it's called, or what's it called?
The Jake suit, because
Jake
it's
suit, that's
fins
it.
inside him.
Yeah, I know, but I couldn't remember which one it was. That's probably their best like ability working together. But if Mordecai and Rigby have more options, because they have Def Do, which they're both masters at and work like together with to partake in, and they have the Fist of Justice, which you need each other to use.
Yeah, that is true. They do like work. I'd say they do have more team-based attacks, but I feel like it's due to that's kind of maybe due to the fact that they're also like significantly weaker than Finn and Jake.
Aye.
Because I feel like because Finn and Jake are strong, whereas like everyone in regular show I think is city block level at most, except Pops.
Mordecai and Rigby are like comically strong instead of being actually
Yeah,
strong fighters like
yeah,
Finn and
like
Jake.
yeah. Whereas like Finn and because I feel like fighting's more of like a is more of like a plot point other than like oh yeah, there's this giant like baby duck that they need to fight. It's like oh yeah, Finn and Jake need to go fight the Lich because he's like try to take I can't. What the fuck did the Lich do again? I know it's
You should
important.
know. You're the expert.
Yeah, he did something, then he became Tree Trunks as Wayne, and then like, I don't know, like Shagfin's Ma.
Did that actually happen or?
I don't think it did, but I feel like.
Why did you say it?
Because I don't know, I can't remember what the Lich did, I know it was like important.
Was it? Oh, I don't even know what it was. I didn't watch Adventure Time much. I just watched odd episodes.
It was like, he did something plot important, and then it's like, yeah, he did do something plot important, I think.
Well, probably he was like the main villain.
It was like, I mean, but the Ice King was the villain for a bit, then he just kind of became like...
We realised he wasn't like an actual threat.
Yeah, it's just like
Fanny.
a lonely man
Aye.
kidnapping women.
Yeah. It's not a good enough excuse for it, like. In case you were thinking of doing something similar.
I'm not gonna kidnap women.
Yeah.
Don't think I feel like I would not be successful if I wanted to.
Why are you actually talking about this? As if you were like planning to.
I'm not planning to.
I know.
If I was to kidnap a woman, I'd be Tadashi's mum to make food.
Oh yeah. Fair enough, she makes good food.
She
Well, I've
does
not got
make
much
good
else
food.
to say about whether better characters. But they rely on each other as dynamic. Like they're I think they're a better duo for Finn and Jake are a good duo for adventuring, but like for working in a park and solving the problems that they cause, they're the best duo.
Yeah, but we have never seen in Adventure Time lore Finn and Jake working at a park.
It's a good point.
We don't know how.
I'm sure Jake could be too lazy to do anything.
Yeah, but you could probably say the same about like Rigby.
Except he actually does do the work. He's lazy, but he still does stuff.
Yeah.
So,
But I feel like
couldn't
thing is like you keep like Mordecai and Rigby are two cunts at a park, whereas Finn and Jake are like actual heroes and like save the world and all that. Whereas like Finn and like Mordecai and Rigby just kind of cut about a park, could deal with like some random thing that's like invading the park, stop it, get
just
terrorised
continue
by like a
everyday life.
taxi.
What do you mean a taxi?
Yeah. Do you not remember the English taxi that terrorised Rigby?
No! What the fuck?
Do you not remember it? I would come up to him and go, "Hello, governor," and start trying to run him over.
Oh yeah, I think I do it. But what the fuck?
England taxi.
What the fuck?
You do, there's also like the doll Pops had that came to life and tried to kill.
Aye, they killed it.
No, they didn't try and kill it. It kept drawing on people's faces, I think, because censorship.
So they just killed it.
They burnt it alive.
It was drawn on people's faces, so they incinerated it.
Like that show's based. Like the only thing
What,
it needed like domestic.
Shut up.
Shall we go show?
Aye. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, the better part is sort of I'm opening an apple juice carton, is Mordecai and Rigby feel actual guilt for the people that they've killed. It's for the Jake aren't shown to. But they've stopped and they've went jinky about how many folk we've killed over the course of the series. They've done that before.
Wait what the fuck is that episode? It seems like, I'm not saying it's but that's an actual episode, like, just think about how many people they killed.
It wasn't like the whole plot of the episode, but they have stopped and they've went, how many people have we killed in the course of the series?
No, I don't know why, I just think that really funny, because it's just something you wouldn't expect a regular show to do.
I know.
I was like, yeah, but Finn and Jake probably feel remorse for people they've killed.
They're not shown to. Are they?
They're not shown to.
Base Jake.
Stars are not. Base Jake. Jacob Soul has a pint of Stella Slacks fine. That's pretty base.
Shut up. Yeah,
I do not
I can't get much out of this scenario. Like, I can't decide who's the better deal or not based on the information I've got. It's fucking dead.
Yeah, this is like we're just rambling.
So, do you think we go with the idea that I had, that we, instead of actually deciding on the better duo ourselves, we just make a poll in the description and let people vote, and then next time I'll rub it in your face when I win?
Yeah, on you go. Why not? I can't think of an answer. The next two are probably the more important ones.
So we'll move on to the fight section. Okay, section 3. I will be debating for, you guessed it, Mordecai and Rigby, Heggie, but then Finn and Jake, who wins in a death battle scenario?
Yes, death battle, Boomstick Dad.
Aye,
He's
Boomstick Dad joke. Yeah, he doesn't know who he is, he's never met him, he left when he was young.
Wiz is like, what's the Shard Zuko? I can't remember any other like funny Wiz.
That's right, Boomstick. What else does Wiz do apart from like have a hatred for Boomstick and want to like test on him or something? Don't know.
Doesn't he have a wife?
I think so. Yeah, he does.
I think he beats his wife.
Probably not. I'm pretty sure he probably experiments on her.
Oh no!
No, he definitely does. He definitely does.
He definitely does. They're using that Bluetooth sponsorship. They could use.
Do you think canonically Wiz created Bluetooth to solve his own problems?
That's right, Boomstick. I get extra confidence in the bedroom.
Shut up. Right. Let's do the actual fight part. Right.
Let's go on. You go first.
Mordecai and Rigby. Although they're not weak, they do not hold up to Finn and Jake, I'll admit that right off the bat. They're fucking town level strength. Whereas Finn and Jake have, is it moon level for Finn and planet for Jake?
It's moon to large planet for Finn and small planet to large planet for Jake.
So, aye, what I said basically.
Yeah.
But however, the Fist of Justice, I don't know what they could do with them really, like if they could manage to stun them or slow them down because they're using them together, would maybe give them somewhat an advantage. Obviously they've got a disadvantage for having much lower strength. But they have an array of gadgets, like the keyboard that sends them to the moon.
The power.
No, it doesn't just send them to the moon, but it can teleport stuff wherever, can't it?
But your baby ducks send them to the moon. So the machine that doesn't work. I think they always have to say send them to the moon, so I think they could.
Because no, they sent themselves home.
Yeah, so they could.
So they could just say like, they could just Finn and Jake from Adventure Time send them to the fiery depths of hell.
I was thinking the land of Ood, send it to a black hole.
I probably
could have been like fought hard enough. But I feel like Finn and Jake can probably outspeed them before like they start like singing a song and playing the power.
Do you know how fast they are?
Yep. Finn and Jake are both sub-relativistic, which is Mach 8,810.2 to Mach 43,701.52.
Fuck.
So,
But if in this scenario they can start using the power to teleport Finn and Jake or whatever area into like a black hole, or in fact, I was gonna say that they need to know the location to send them to it, but they hadn't been to the moon prior to that, so they wouldn't need to.
I've just looked up what I just quickly checked what sub-relativistic is. They are either just under the speed of light or faster in the ranges of sub-relativistic.
So they're close to it. Couldn't
yeah,
they use
they're close at a minimum.
Could also enhance their strength for the play. Is it the Playco Arm Boy? It's called the one that Rigby Leonard skips at arm wrestling with.
Oh, it's like the Nintendo Power Glove looking thing.
No, that's the Maximum Glove.
What's
The Playco Arm Boy is like the wireframe exoskeleton looking thing that attached to your hand that it's like really thin and you won't notice.
Yeah.
That Rigby Leonard skips at arm wrestling with.
Well, the thing is how strong is skips, because that's the thing. If you using that as an argument, because I feel like a lot Finn and Jake could probably beat most of Adventure Time except like Pops.
Well, he accidentally killed Rigby easily in one episode. So probably at least to easily kill somebody on accident with, I think it was one punch, wasn't it? That's like that has like turn level durability. Really, your strength would probably be close to at least mountain level, I'd assume.
Yeah.
Like at a push, it would probably be like at least mountain level.
I'm listening to what you're saying, but I'm also thinking of Skips just walking out with the One Punch Man open and playing against them.
now I'm also thinking of that.
One Punch. Okay, I'm getting off topic, but One Punch Man's swag.
I know, One Punch Man's good. We should have Saitama at some point.
No.
Why?
As much as I like One Punch Man,
Saitama versus debating is dreadful, yeah, you're right, so...
Until we reach the end, One Punch Man, I do not want him to be used because of how... Because people think he can beat Goku.
I think that's absolute pish. I think Saitama is not boundless or limitless, but we're gonna leave that there because I'm not getting into fucking Saitama logistics.
But we
do have a planned episode with another One Punch Man character.
We do?
Yeah. When me, you, Duncan and Tads.
Is that
Yeah. It is.
The one I was going to use against Wahoo?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so only a few folk will know what that is.
Yes.
So I'm trying to think of ways that they could, because obviously they're at a disadvantage with strength.
Yeah, that's
significantly. Jake can stretch though. That is the thing. Jake could probably, like, if he, because it's an audible keyboard. If they hear them saying like "land of Oos," send it to a fucking black hole or a fucking empty dimension where they're fucking going to die. Then he's probably going to interrupt it or try to interrupt it.
Jake is able of stretching his hand to the size of a small planet. That's why he's small planet level, because he can make a fucking small planet out of his hand.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah, Adventure Time gets a bit funky at the end. Like, you have like planet, like Jake stretching his hand to a planet, Finn not ending up with Princess Bubblegum, and Princess Bubblegum ending up with Marceline, which I didn't expect, but good for them.
Yeah.
It's June now. Happy June to like Princess Bubblegum and Marceline and like other LGBT people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Pride Month. Well, this episode will come out during Pride Month. Yeah, it will.
Yeah, well, so like happy Pride Month, Pride people.
Yeah. So I think one of the only things putting them at an advantage would be the power.
Yeah, the power. I feel like there's probably some other like things. Like the only other argument I could feel like saying them winning is they phone up Pops.
That wouldn't be fair.
It wouldn't be fair at all, but it's the only thing I can think of.
Also
But, like,
considering when they were on Earth,
yeah,
unless it
Pops,
was at a very specific point in time, and a scenario where they were on the moon and Finn and Jake ended up there, or they ended up
yeah.
on, they ended up having some way to get to Earth from the moon during that arc where Pops became like the fucking god.
Yeah, Pops is like God, man. And like, this was like after I said some very unbased things to Tyler, the creator and Childish Gambino.
Oh yeah, that's what gave him the power.
That's
I wrote that the skills that Mordecai and Rigby use aren't always directly for fighting though, so
yeah, like Mordecai and Rigby, it's because they're not.
they're
Regular
not
show
they're not
isn't
like warriors. They're
about
like
fight
most of their scenarios are
park.
it's problem solving scenarios, and just happens that a lot of the solutions are
Yeah,
just
like,
fucking leathering whoever it is.
and like but like sometimes I feel like dodgy scammers like they do in the Automatum episodes.
I can't remember the Automatum episode.
Oh, I think if it's one I'm thinking of, it's like the one that I'll meet on, which is like a cheeseburger wrap. It's a cheeseburger where the burger's made of a cheeseburger inside it, which has then got Himalayan ketchup on it, and then the buns for that massive burger are two deep fried cheeseburgers.
That sounds pretty swag, like.
Yeah, like Benjamin Babish made it.
But you about she's pretty good. But on topic,
Yeah.
I've got well, I can't think we do have good fighting experience, but their experience isn't directly for fighting. Like I said, it's problem solving scenarios, whereas Finn and Jake
Yeah,
spend most
they
of their time fighting.
Because they're like meant to be heroes at Oof, where like
Mordecai
they're
and Rigby
like
are just
more
like teenagers or
dedicated to the
dropouts at a
grind.
park, dedicated to the grind.
They are though. That's like the entire thing. They just want to like sit and play video games, make money, and eat like wines and that.
I wish we could do that if we fucking actually like released more episodes of Franchise Fight Podcast.
Yeah, if we could just like make the podcast, get money, eat wines, like scream at my mum, and then like. That's a question for people in the comments. Are you more like Muscle Man and High Flights or Mordecai and Rigby?
I'm gonna send you an image quickly that
Oh no!
I've had this image saved on my camera roll for a couple of years. I've waited for a scenario like this. Go and have a look at it.
Do you want to read it out?
Aye.
Things we need to normalise for men. Seeking the bag, being based, going beast mode.
And it's one of those men's mental health images, like copy pastas that's been edited to say going beast mode.
Being based.
Seeking the bag. That's what Mordecai and Rigby would do. Like, it just made me think of that picture.
They do seek the bag. That was like their plot.
Being dedicated to the grind.
Yeah, it's like.
Whereas Mordecai and Rigby's the only thing Finn's dedicated to is getting a bird who turns out to get a bird.
And then the other one, I think, like, does he end up with? I can't remember if he ends up with Flame Princess.
He does at some point, and he ends up
does go
burning his
at
face completely to kiss her.
Yeah, I remember like to hug her, he wraps himself up in tinfoil like a burrito and like just stands there.
That's not worth it. Like, if your bird is going to physically harm you just because you need to hug her, that's not worth it. Just get on your bird at that point, eh?
Is that domestic abuse?
Not really. In fact, aye. Because if in real life you've got a girlfriend who's emitting gamma radiation and you go near her knowing you're gonna get hurt and you do it, it's still her fault for hurting you, for allowing you.
Yeah. Like, and Princess Bubblegum Pop, was she a full lesbian or just bi?
I think she was bisexual. Doesn't really matter though.
Either way, Fun got cucked by Marceline.
Yeah. Can you blame her? Can you blame her?
No, it's just funny because I just find that funny because the fact Finn, like, well, the plot was like, oh, Finn wants to share Princess Bubblegum. And then Marceline just comes
towards
in
the
at the
end,
end.
it's just like, oh yeah, Princess Bubblegum has got a new girlfriend, and Finn has been completely cocked. There's obviously nothing wrong with that. I just find it completely fucking
It's just funny.
hilarious.
It's like
Because it's like they spend a lot, like in Adventure Time before
Yeah.
before it became like linear episodes. It was like, oh no, Ice King has done this to our princess.
Kidnapped the
Finn is going to
princess,
save them
so
and try and impress Princess Bubblegum, who he has a crush on. And towards the
yeah,
end, it's fucking Princess Bubblegum now has a lesbian girlfriend, vampire,
yeah.
fucking
Like
demon.
one advantage Mordecai has over Finn is, I think does he end up in Margaret at the end?
I don't know.
But if he did, then he didn't get cocked.
Mordecai's a massive simp though.
He is,
But that is
to
not
be
to say
fair.
Finn isn't he? Because Finn is.
Yeah, like just be like Jake and Rigby.
It'd be
Like
based.
be based. They like consistently hold a bird for like all the series.
They held down one woman for for most of the show.
Yeah, like
Jake had like 3 kids.
I had like 5 or something. There's like TV, Jake Jr. I can't remember the rest.
I knew Jake Jr. I knew that.
Jake Jr.'s a lassie as well.
Yeah.
And like committed to, I'm pretty sure like was like a bank robber. I assume with Jake.
Committed to the grind.
No, there's an entire episode where Jake Jr. robs a bank and then
This
Jake
topic's
is
meant
like,
to be for who wins in a fight, and we've just talked about getting
well,
cocked.
okay, so to split
to wrap it up, we gave you each side. We'll leave a poll in the comments for each section, and you can vote. I'll be honest. I think that Finn and Jake win, but if you think
they won.
if you think there's a scenario or a way that Mordecai and Rigby could win, then comment below.
One advantage Jake has is he was a bank robber, and that's based.
Yeah. If you're listening on Spotify, then you'll need to go to YouTube to vote, obviously.
Yeah, but like,
and also if you're on YouTube, you can listen on Spotify. It might not be up right away, but it will be there.
because like we need money, but like, oh, should we link?
I'll do that. I'll put that at the start. Don't worry.
What the fuck's the server called again? It changes so often I can't remember. Is it not still?
No, we'll make a new server. We'll make a franchise for each server.
We could make a franchise, like, you can have you have like individuals like Tadashi. He like
Tadashi.
he is like Japanese and plays Metallica.
We'll move on to the universe swap section. And we're back for the universe swap section. I will be debating for, as per usual, I'd just like to clarify, I will be debating for Mordecai and Rigby, and Heggie will be debating for Finn and Jake. Who would do better? Alright, just fucking interrupt me then, eh? Just speak over it. Just do me like that, eh? Just do me like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say congratulations to us for like actually finishing recording episode 3.
It's only taken months.
It's only taken a month, but we're going to speedrun the next episode, I think, after this.
We'll try and grind out episode 4 after this.
And I'm looking forward to episode 4 and 5.
Yeah. Episode 4 is still subject to change, and it won't be released directly after this. We'll still give it a good wait. We'll still give it like a week or 2.
But we are going to be having our first collab episode with guests.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing that at some point after June 28th, if you can.
So, at some point next month, you can expect a 1v1 episode with a guest on each team. Those guests will be Paradise 351 and Tadslab.
Yeah, Paradise 351's.
Just fucking do it like that, eh? Just interrupt me again, eh?
Yeah, let's like get fucking on to topic.
No, I'm saying because you keep interrupting me.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so we're not going to give away what the episode is, but we do have the guest planned and the episode planned. It'll be after June 28th. You can take that as a hint for what the episode is, all you want.
Yeah.
And
if you
might not get the idea,
then...
but you'll probably get one of the characters for that. You'll probably get the series.
You'll get the
But
series. It's a
on-
swag series.
On to universe swap.
Okay, so
So would Finn and Jake do better working in a park than Mordecai and Rigby would being heroes?
okay, I want to start off by saying I do not think Mordecai and Rigby could kill the Lich.
Elaborate.
The fucking city level. No, just not the light. They're like time level. I'm pretty
Sound
sure.
level, yeah.
Yeah,
But
I'm
they'd
pretty sure
find
the
some
Lich-
way if they bring that keyboard.
Yeah, they could. I feel like it'd be funnier to see Mordecai and Rigby in Ooh than it is Finn and Jake in the park though, because I feel like a lot of the same things would happen, and it'd be funny to see Mordecai get cocked.
Right,
Wait,
but
is that-
I think that I think there would be a way that they'd be able to kill the Lich. I think the keyboard
Yeah.
would be their key to it. The Fist of Justice, or they could even Mordecai and well, Finn and Jake didn't kill the Lich on their own, did they?
I can't remember.
So why was it like the key
Listen.
point you brought up?
I don't because
They have similar scenarios in the
They
show,
do.
like Ricardio. Instance like Ricardio is similar to the arcade machine from the pilot episode. Is it the pilot episode? The arcade machine that comes to life. Oh, it might be. It might be one of the first. It's one of the first episodes.
Yeah, it's one of
Definitely
the
the
first
arcade, the
ones.
arcade machine that the destroyer. Is it Destroyer the Worlds? It's called or something.
Oh, something like that.
Because I remember Pops like casually speaks about something like a total demonic name.
Yeah, but as you're saying Ricardo, do you know what I'm thinking of?
Ricardo Milos.
No, I'm thinking of Howard Milos.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Can you drop it up on the screen?
No.
Oh, fuck's sake, fuck you.
I'll try and remember. I'll try
I'll
and
play the
remember.
music. Let's get
Don't
it.
play the music. Don't play music.
Wait, we'll get copyrighted. Fuck no, I can't play it.
I know you don't want Franchise Frights podcast being copyright claimed by fucking.
Yachty, please don't
Well,
copyright us.
Aye. So what else have I wrote? Aye. They have good experience in their town, in like the park especially, and they have experience in space as well. Because they have been to space and
Yeah.
encountered scenarios in space during the last series.
Yeah, like they are good. Another thing is they do have both characters do have good teamwork. Unlike Slug Terror 95's good pal who still hasn't brought him the guns for his next gunfight video.
Is he still waiting? 8 years later, he's still waiting.
It's still late and he's still spinning those guns around going cha 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 cha.
That's brutal. I feel really sorry for him that he's still waiting.
I know.
That's
R.I.P.
dreadful.
Slug. R.I.P. Slug Terror 95. Still waiting on those guns for his next gunfight video.
Oh, that's a true shame. Anyway,
True shame.
I've wrote,
But
it would work well as a duo to do what Finn and Jake do. Because, yeah, there's not much that Finn and Jake can do that Mordecai and Rigby can't, except obviously they have greater strength feats.
yeah, I
feats.
feel like Mordecai and Rigby could probably overcome a lot of the fights, but I feel like they'd end up relying more on other characters than Finn and Jake do.
You might be right about that.
Also, there's probably some situations where it's like they need to have like a weapon, like a sword or something. I don't. Jake's stretching is fucking useful, and I don't think Mordecai and Rigby can do it. Do you
But
think about how
they have been put in predicaments because of Jake stretching before as well, though.
they have been put in predicaments, but I feel like a lot
Did they
of
not get wedged under like a castle's battlements or castle's what's the gate
Yeah.
what's the gate thing called? Portcullis.
portcullis.
I remember that from Bob the Builder thing that I watched when I was like 4.
Shut up, man.
Aye, but Jake got stuck under with a portcullis and was having to walk about the town, and that's when they realised that like the further he stretched, the weaker he got.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of the episodes when they're in the maze and like Jake stretched himself around so they knew how to get back out.
Yeah.
And where they'd been in that, so I'm feeling like whereas like Rigby, I don't think you could probably stretch Rigby, not far.
Could probably kick him as a projectile. He's quite small.
Yeah, you could probably do the same with Jake.
He does. He does also have a sport named after him in Australia, canonically.
Wait, what?
In Adventure Time not in a regular show canon, they've renamed Rugby Rigby.
I couldn't tell if that was a joke or something. That's because of course they would do something like that.
Well, I think he might only be in Australia though, but that's funny as fuck.
That is funny as fuck.
But how are they going to play rugby without like?
Rugby?
How are they going to play rugby without falling off the earth in the first place? Is the predicament.
Yeah, that's true. Who's the Australian that we could ask?
I would say Nemesis, but Nemesis will not respond to my DMs. I've wrote that Mordecai and Rigby would be quite lazy. Like, they are slackers, so they would probably struggle to do some of the tasks. Alright, just fucking interrupt me again now, just interrupt me.
Yes, I fucking didn't mean to.
They will struggle with some of the tasks that Finn and Jake would have done, just out of sheer laziness, and Rigby's totally selfish though as well, is what I've wrote.
Yeah, I feel like, that's like good. Finn and Jake, they always like have like a lot more, or Finn does have a lot more energy, like, so I feel like when they're at the park they would like speed run, like getting sausages and like cleaning up like gutters, or what's other park jobs they did? I can't remember much of the jobs they did other than like cut a boot on a golf cart.
Just keep it organised, just pick up litter and make
I
sure it
feel
doesn't
like
exceed its capacity as well, because it's like a certain amount of people that can go in.
I feel like that, like that Finn at least, maybe Jake, would speedrun like.
Jake, it would take some convincing for Jake, but it would just go, oh fine, and just like do it really quickly.
I just realised Jake's kind of like Squidward.
How?
They're both lazy.
Squidward's not lazy, Squidward's just grumpy.
Okay, they're just both musicians from cartoons.
You're a fuck.
Oh, now I'm just thinking of to play what Squidward plays.
You're the most useless co-host I could ask for. I should have got to that shitty co-host. He doesn't even speak English as his first language, and he would probably be a better co-host than you.
I like Almighty's kinda hot.
Anyway, here's Enter Sandman.
Women are fat swags.
What?
I didn't think I should say swag or fog before I was gonna start on playing Metallica. I fucked it. Tarasha, you'll probably be listening to this.
I'm gonna need to cut out a lot of what you've said out, because you're useless.
No, I don't cut it. Keep it uncut.
I have to.
Keep it bigger, longer, and uncut, like South Park movie.
No.
No, because well, I'm not saying anything. I shouldn't this time.
No, you are. Yeah. So I'll edit it. What else can we really say about this? Is the thing. The topic's kind of done to death, like the debate of Mordecai and Rigby versus Finn and Jake.
We're going because it was good in post, and we realised. Then now we've realised this is a bit annoying to make a full podcast about.
No, there's not enough to talk about for like as long as you'd want to. That's the issue.
Yeah, it's like.
But maybe shorter episodes. Maybe people would like shorter episodes more.
Maybe, but like, I feel like we can't. The other episodes were able to make points because it was also series that were comparable, and not like the fight was more debatable than like the. I feel like it's because I don't know why, I feel like we care about the series more, even though I do love Adventure Time and regular, so I just feel like I've not watched them in ages.
So we'll just continue with the conclusion for here, because we're basically here.
Yeah, well, who are we giving this to?
We're not going to decide who we're going to give it to. We're going to leave it up to the viewers we'll have a poll in the description.
This episode's going to be viewer decided, because
We might just continue if you're decided if people like it more, if people like the ability to vote.
Yeah, I feel like since we're recording the next one next, I feel like we could do winners that one. We just see which performs better.
So episode 4 should be Shadow the Hedgehog versus Mikoto from Persona 5. But
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm interested enough to do that right away, or I can be arsed.
But I'm interested. I want to speak about Persona. I like Persona's swag.
I know, but I'm the one that runs the channel, so fuck you.
Yeah, but I'm like second in command. I don't know.
Kind of.
Uh,
So if you stop talking. Just shut up,
I'll shut you up.
So you will. So if you
I
enjoyed,
like to,
just interrupt me again,
yeah.
So if this is a fucking shambles, you're useless.
Shambles that
If you enjoy, shut up, you fucking fool!
Don't shut up, there's just mic delay.
Right, so if you enjoyed this episode, then if you somehow managed to fucking fathom your way through this episode, then make sure to leave a like. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Spotify, then search Franchise Fights Podcast on YouTube, and you can let us know your thoughts, or you can leave a like. You can decide by poll, which will be in the description, whether you think Mordecai and Rigby or Finn and Jake win each category.
There'll be like links to like the Ko-fi thing to pay us for like
Yeah.
a
If anybody for
podcast.
some reason thought this was worth money,
Yeah, this was a shambles an episode,
it's
but
because you're a
like,
fucking twat.
and it also took us a month to record the rest.
I know, there will also be a link to we have the Twitter account.
We do have a
mentioned
Twitter
that at the
account.
start.
We've got. You can join Nut.
I'll link
You
to
can-
Discord. The Discord's just a fuck about, basically.
Yeah, there's like, but you have like such classics as Tad's Lab, who like posts videos of him playing Metallica, and Leo, who just
Doesn't stop
criticises
talking.
everything and rambles.
Yeah, so if you enjoyed, then let us know your thoughts. If you somehow managed to enjoy, because I know Heggie is very fucking irritating, and you only watch for me, of course, and I'll speak to you later.
No.